China has a vast population to support, with 3.5 million square miles of light space. However, just 12% of the land is arable. With that line, China feeds 22% of the world's population. Isn't that an excellent effort? However, the Chinese government was concerned about one thing: the Gobi Desert. The Gobi Desert spans about 500,000 kilometers of northern China and southern Mongolia. So, although the government is no longer concerned about desert invaders invading Beijing, the expanding dryness of northern China poses a severe danger to the country and its people. The Gobi Desert is the world's fastest spreading desert, transforming over 2,250 miles of grassland per year. This expansion devastates agricultural land and generates sandstorms that wreak havoc on populations along the desert's edge. Chinese desertification has been continuous since the 1950s, when the Young People's Republic started raising farms and wildlands to create communities and infrastructure to accommodate a growing population. This human activity exposed most of the land to wind erosion and desert deposits. Until the 1970s, the government concentrated completely on desertification and took action. In 1978, the Chinese government initiated the Three North Shelter Belt projects, often known as the Great Green Wall, a statewide ecological engineering project. Another unofficial title was Louis Chengjing, or the Great Green Wall of China. It is considered to have been written by Deng Xiaoping. This operation aims to stop the Gobi Desert spread by planting millions of trees along its 2,800-mile border with northern China. The Ministry of Forestry hopes the trees will function as a windbreak, showing the desert's spread. In recent years, the government has supported and developed several big forestation initiatives, culminating in the world's largest tree planting endeavor. Every citizen above the age of 11 must plant 3 poplars, eucalyptus, or larches each year to contribute to the common cause. Villagers are paid to plant seedlings, and the government leases private land for forest planting. Growers harvest mature trees for wood. This is supposed to have reduced poverty and made some people incredibly rich. So, instead of revolution, the government used capitalism to nurture trees. Reforestation is one of the world's most important environmental projects. Grass and indigenous trees are planted first, followed by drought-resistant species. Then come to the hardest trees, such as poplars. Planting teams are formed and seeds are dispersed throughout the plains. China's elites, including ministers, join specialists and amateurs in planting trees. Each year, approximately 500 million people take part in this magnificent event. Although billions of trees have been planted, the project intends to plant 100 billion trees by 2050. The Chinese can now grow trees online. Donations are lawfully collected and used for planting. According to the Chinese government, around 66 billion trees have been planted in northern China during the previous several decades. Between 2009 and 2014, thousands of moving dunes were stabilized, and the frequency of sandstorms was cut in half throughout the country. According to the Chinese Academy of Sciences study, over 7.88 million hectares of windbreak trees have been planted. 336,200 square kilometers of desertification has been reversed, and over 10 million hectares of grasslands have been protected, regenerated in the previous 40 years. This method has contributed to an increase in total forest coverage from 10% in 1949 to around 25%. According to the government, since 2000, deserts have grown by 10,400 square kilometers every year. In 2017, that number fell to about 2,400 square kilometers every year. The northern region's green cover has increased from 5% to 13.5%, while parts of the Gobi Desert are blooming with lush vegetation, rich soil, and more rainfall. Another achievement was establishing a luxurious forest area in northern China's Muus Desert. By 2020, 93% of the Muus Desert would be vegetated, making it one of China's 4 largest. At the start of the century, almost 27% of China was desert. As a result of the government's efforts, the rate is expected to fall to 18% by 2020. The Great Green Wall is not China's sole action, though. In the early 2000s, many laws were enacted, and scientists are always looking for ways to simplify the process. The Chinese government said during the National People's Congress in 2021 that they will raise the proportion of territory held by forest from 23% to 24% by 2025. While the Great Green Wall project has shown potential, it is not flawless. Some opponents of the initiative are critical, but the majority are anti-monoculture. Most woodlands just contain one tree species, rendering them vulnerable to epidemics. Numerous trees have been devastated by plant disease. The World Bank advised China to prioritize tree species quality above number. A forest debate occurred a few years ago. Large Chinese cities, particularly Beijing, suffer from pollution, which increases year after year despite government efforts. Smog is pushed out by cities by the winds. However, this has become infrequent. The new forest plantings may have hindered air movement, resulting in stagnant air in cities that cannot be cleaned. Zhao Yongli, the People's Republic of China State Forestry Administration deputy head, had to explicitly contradict this claim. Trees, he believes, can only hinder air circulation near the land's surface. In any case, the benefits exceed the drawbacks, notably their engagement in pollution reduction. There are certain downsides to mass tree planting. Farmers in southwestern China were spotted removing native vegetation to earn government funding for spreading non-native plants as part of a government effort. Then there's the water. Large areas of China, especially in tree planting zones, are becoming drier. The project's thirsty non-native trees have depleted groundwater resources in arid portions of northern China. According to a 2019 study, semi-arid areas in China increased by 33% between 1994 and 2008, compared to 1948 to 1962. According to a 2004 study, just 15% of trees planted after 1978 have survived. The good news is that the National Forestry Department has recognized the error of planting trees in dry areas and has moved to cultivating shrubs that